Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tosh Talks. By chance and by choice, I am Tosh, and we have a guest this afternoon by the name of Luna Menoch. And Luna is an artist, a musician, composer, a jacket of all trades, a visionary. Welcome, Luna, to Tosh Talk show.
Thank you.
Now, Luna, the reason why I asked you to be on my show, and actually you're still the first guest I ever had on Tosh Talk, well, maybe my second guest, but you worked on a project recently that I find totally fascinating.
Thank you.
And that is your version of Maurice Ravel's great composition, Bolero. And my understanding is, well, I know this is a fact, that your version of Bolero is all done by sewing machine sounds or noise. Do you prefer sounds or noise? Does it make a difference to you? Like sewing machine noise, or you like sounds better, or does it make a difference to you? Or
Same.
we'll say sounds.
Sounds.
Sewing machine sounds. So, first of all, so how did you thought of, okay, you work with sewing machines in your artwork and making clothes and costumes for your work. When's the point, or how did you come to the conclusion to have sewing machine sounds into music, or to be played in front of people or recorded? How did that happen?
Because it's my art is everything related to clothing and dressmaking, the fashion, because it's kind of connected to the social aspect of it. So naturally, I thought is that do something with sewing machine, because it's sewing made by sewing machine. So that's my art environment. I'm always with sewing machine. And then a second aspect of it is I'm interested that the sewing machine's history of the sewing machine is that the first machine is brought to home so women can work. So in history-wise, it's the sewing machine is the very significant device for women.
So we're talking about this is like the middle or the start of the industrial age,
yes,
correct? So the sewing machine, and correct me if I'm wrong, was the first machine brought into a home that's like mechanical. You know, it was like
yes,
this.
First
it's like,
machine in home.
So it's like the first serious outside thing you can use for home use.
Yes.
So that must have been quite revolutionary.
Very revolutionary for, I think, for women working history.
So beforehand, so that means the women had to either go somewhere to get clothes sewn, or
I think so.
So they had
It's a factory.
So like professional sewers would do it.
Yes.
But then all of a sudden now the everyday person, specifically in that case the women, can learn and make their own clothing at home.
Well, yeah, before the woman always sew at home.
I see.
But is the development of the work situation, the sewing machine came to home, make it so much difference for the woman.
Okay, so obviously sewing machines make noise. They make a really loud noise. How do you find the sound of sewing machines in general very pleasing to you, or do you find it irritating, or is it something you aesthetically find that you really like the sound?
I never think about I like or not, because just one of the environmental sound.
Okay.
So I thought it's interesting to use that sound to make the music. It's because it's almost like a work song.
Mm-hmm.
When we um, obviously sewing is work and working operation. It's just, so those environmental sound is like work sound.
I see. So it's not really a like or dislike. It's just part of the environment. It goes
Yeah,
with
it's
the
there.
territory.
It's there. Just like everything. It's just bird sounds to car noise to freeway and people's talking, background sound. It's not really like I'm not really judgmental that I don't like.
And okay, you're not judgmental, but yet you made a decision to use that noise from a sewing machine and
Because my work environment.
in your work environment. And so how to get from that to, like, say something like Bolero? How did you somehow connect sewing machine sounds or noise into a constructed piece like Bolero? How that?
Because first I would like to make something, music by sewing machine, which I have thinking so long. So I have to study a lot of like technical parts of it, and then at the same time I thought it just if I can make something that people knows a melody already or some sort of popular song,
like a popular melody,
popular
everybody knows.
melody, and then Bolero is just perfect to make the some sort of the sound we know already, but it's like a different kind of a way, almost like a different material to make the popular.
So basically, what's kind of unique is you take something that's very raw sounding, like the sewing machine sound, and you put it into a format that has a strong melody. And Bolero has like this incredible melody that everybody knows. But you somehow you took the raw sounds of a sewing machine, and somehow you fit it into the melody, or make it into a melody of Bolero. That's kind of a remarkable thing to do, I think. I mean, what did you have to do? What was the process to turn the sewing machine sounds, noise into Bolero, into the music?
You mean the technically? First, I recorded all the sewing machine sound or noise.
And you record like everything, right? You record all the sounds the sewing machine makes?
I have 4 or 5 different sewing machines. So first I tried, it's just like everything is very experimental. Just recorded normal sounds, and different speed of the sound. I'm talking about electric sewing machine.
Right.
So how I can make the different sound from the sewing machine, and then I switched to the home sewing machine, to the industrial sewing machine, which I have. So I just sew fast and slow, or different zigzag, or pedal. I push the pedal fast and slow, and so on. So I tried to do a lot of different things. So make it 20 or 30 different sewing machine sound. Except I just don't do it just to hit the sewing machine or some sort of shake or anything. Just whatever naturally I make a sound, normal working stage.
Right.
So if I can hit or something, then it's become totally different things. But I just put the rule that I don't do like anything unusual for my job.
So everything's everything's organically made from the sounds of the sewing machine.
Yes.
And it's and like different like instruments, they like different guitars. Each guitar has like a different sound, depends on the model and the make. Your sewing machines also have different sounds from one sewing machine to another sewing machine, different sound.
Yeah, it's like a different sound. And then recently the home sewing machine tried to be really quiet. So that is really hard for me to.
That's not good.
No, it's not good. But but then I met the woman who made that special pickup mic. So
So Sam.
Sam.
So Sam like helped you actually with your pickup mic. She helped you to. It alters the sound of the sewing machine a little bit, right?
Yeah, so that's opened another whole the
Right,
world, which
right.
could be more like deeper and deeper. But just now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a entrance that like a mic history of the mic technology. But it just
It's sort of like electric guitar that has like pedals and like a fuzz box. Like you play electric guitar, but there's ways of playing the guitar through different type of pedals and stuff, which alters the sound. So what she did was sort of the same with the sewing machine. She sort of altered it a little bit.
it's a little different.
A little
It's
different?
that's the effector parts. But as I'm talking about the moment that we recorded, and it's like a microphone technology. So it's like if I got a really expensive microphone from somewhere, of course it's a sewing machine sounds different.
I see.
But I stay whatever I am here, everything DIY.
Right.
You know, if I have $1 million, I could make something different Bolero. But it's just right now, I like Sam's ideas like pick up. Mike is very DIY, and then she's using bobbins, even like a sewing machine parts. So I thought everything makes sense. So I used that her pickup mic, which is make it's like more like electronical because it's magnet. So that's make it another different noise.
Right.
So I collected the 30 different noise, and then I put all noise to one is a violin, one is a viola, one is they don't have a piano, trumpet, trombone. So everything I decided, give them role of the music instrument to the whole my noise collection.
Because you can actually you can read music. So you read the score of a Bolero, right? Of a Ravel
Well,
Bolero.
I'm not read that. I just study my piano when I was kids. All the Japanese girls do that. Like when we
Right.
were kids, we have to play the piano. So my music technique is not that great, but I can read a minimum.
Right. But you could basically, you sort of can read the score of Ravel's Bolero.
Yeah, I don't know if I said I could read, but
And how many pages was like how many pages the actual
64.
score? 64 pages of
Yes.
music. Wow.
Yes. And then I tried to buy it on the internet. It's very expensive.
And for you to no, Bolero has a very strict time. Like for Ravel's version of Bolero, it's like 18 minutes. And I remember we talked about.
So it really depends on how as a conductor,
Right.
how long it's gonna be. So we cannot say Bolero is 16 minutes, 17 minutes.
Right.
It really depends on the conductor.
And your version of Bolero is it 18 minutes?
A little bit less than 18.
18 minutes. So now you told me the story. It was really fascinating. Well, not really a story, but the fact that Ravel's father either worked in a factory or he ran a factory.
He's an engineer, machinery engineer, and an inventor.
An inventor.
Something like
And
that.
and he was a sort of he was sort of artistically aware of his time. The father. You mentioned to me that he was a friend of Eric Satie, or he knew Eric Satie.
He somehow knows Satie, so that the Ravel met Satie when he was pretty young.
So when Ravel was very young, he maybe hanging out with his father at his work. Ravel was sort of knew or was aware of like industrial noise, right? Because it is the industrial industry.
Yes.
So
And Metasatie as well. So it's obviously it's influence.
What I find interesting is that Bolero is very mechanical sounding to me. I mean,
Yes.
the regular Ravel orchestration. So one can presume that Bolero is really a work of art from industry, from the factory world.
Yes.
More than a romantic work. Because it sounds kind of romantic, Bolero, but it has a strong sort of machinery,
Yes.
almost a Kraftwerk appreciation of how things work, the rhythm and stuff. And
I feel like a mechanism of a romance is it's like it's related to the, you know, industrial revolution and goes to Marcel Duchamp, those mechanism of the bachelor idea. It's just a mechanic and then the man's body work, and I think it's Bolero is not. It is a related that I feel that way. It's like a mechanic is built up that all the eroticism and towards the end.
right. It's sort of arrows meets machinery, and the rhythm of the machine and the human together, sort of. And yeah, for me specifically, when I hear your version of Bolero, because it's done by sewing machine, it sort of brings back to me, it brings Ravel and Bolero's work back to its roots, its industrial roots.
Yes.
And the fact that you chose each sound of the sewing machine, you make it like it's like, say, cellos or flutes or drums. You think about all this when you're putting the piece together. So it's a lot of arrangement. You're rearranging the piece to fit the sewing machine music. I mean, the sounds from the sewing machine.
Yeah, I didn't really intend it that the mechanic sound relationship between the mechanic sound and the Bolero's father's job, but that is end up like I just find out that later. So I feel like I what I'm doing is right to do it and then give back to Ravel. The Maurice Ravel's life or something. So I feel like more stronger that after I started making it.
Wow. You know what we should do? We should probably, we should have our engineer, who's over there, don't pretend you're not seeing him, because he likes to be sort of phantom-like, play a little excerpt of your Bolero, and we can just sit here and listen to this a little bit.
Okay.
So he can turn it on.
Okay.
We'll just like listen to it.
Okay.
So turn it on, please. You can stop. I suspect.
Getting really hot here.
Hot? I suspect that if Ravel was alive and he heard your version of his Bolero, he would prefer your version more than anybody else's version. Because as I mentioned, he realized you're bringing it back to the roots, to the mechanical industry revolution roots.
Okay, the one. So many people made a bolero,
Yes.
their own version of it.
Yeah, like guitars, I think.
Yes,
Yeah,
so many. But my my things is my music is I based on the score. So it's not really bolero arrangement.
Right.
So this is a bolero, classic bolero, but it's not really symphony.
Right.
Music instrumental, traditional music instrumental. But based on the score, make it, I think, is very different. And then it's very interesting. I work with the sewing machine sound. Is each sound has a character, and then it's very charming in a way. It's just like individual people. And so when I mix this sound, I try to make it something really like a characteristic part. Try to pull out those character over the sound. So based on the score, but it's just a little bit different. Tiny bit, length is different, the stronger, the attack is different. But something it's based on the score, but it just arranged a little bit, just like a real musician play violin with different sounds or different attack or different, slightly different speed, but it's still based on the score. So that's my the process of the mixing and then making the music.
It's funny, you know, because when first people hear about sewing machine noise becoming bolero, it's almost like sort of like a joke.
It's really hot.
Huh?
Sorry.
The show's over?
It's just really hot. Can I close that?